Hi guys, welcome to this video. So my topic is all about Neo-Behaviorism, which is Tolman and Bandura. So muna siya picture ni Bandura, Albert Bandura and Jerome Brunner. So Tolman's purposive behavior. So there are four. One is goal directedness. Two, it is cognitive maps. Three, it is latent learning, and the last is interviewing variables. So, AKA, what is AKA? So, sign learning theory ang AKA. This learning is a cognitive process. So, learning is acquired through meaningful behavior. So, the stimuli which are allowed in are not connected by just a simple one-to-one switches to the outgoing responses. Rather, the incoming impulses are usually worked over and elaborated in the center control room into a tentative cognitive like map of the environment. So a new stimulus, the sign, becomes associated with already meaningful stimuli. The significant to a series of pairings. There was no need for reinforcement in order to establish learning. So Tolman's key concepts, latent learning. So Tolman's key concept here, learning that remains or stays with the individual until needed. The concepts of interviewing variables are variables that are not readily seen but serves as determinants of behavior. Learning is mediated or influenced by expectations, perceptions, representations, needs, and other internal of environmental variables. And Tolman's key concepts are reinforcement, not essential for learning. Reinforcement is not essential for learning, although it provides an incentive. So it provides an incentive for performance. Example, rats acquired knowledge of the way through maze in the absence of a reinforcement. So next is types of observational learning effects. Sorry na say po diya, but observational learning effects na siya, guys. So one is people can learn by observing the behavior of the others and outcomes of those behaviors. So ang people is maka-learn good na siya based of her or his observation sa behavior sa uban. And of course, sa imuhang family, like kung maayo ka trato or maayo ka treat sa imuhang family, so maka like good morals, mga good behaviors ang ilang gipang teach, gipang tudlo nimo as a child, then you can adapt the kind of good or kanang good behaviors or kanang mga good morals sa imong parents. Next is learning can occur without change in behavior. So yes, number 3 is cognition plays a role in our learning. So it is a rule. So in our learning, so you should maka-learn ko ka based sa imong surroundings. As what I said, pwede po siya sa mga families. So and the last is social learning. A theory can be considered a bridge or transitions between behaviorist learning theories and cognitive learning theory. So behaviors is a key of a human, or a key of how you to become a human. Yes, kay without behaviors dili ko I think dili harmonious ang imuhang sa imuhang pagpuyo. So behavior, it is more adaptable sa usa ka tao. Next is purposive of behaviorism. It is a branch of psychology that was introduced by Edward Tolman. So ang naka-introduce ani nga purposive behaviorism is no other one kundi si Edward Tolman. It combines the objective study of behavior while also considering the purpose or goal of behavior. So si Tolman jud ay ang a branch of aning behavior, the purpose of a behavior. So I think mao po din iya nga create siya research sa iyang kagalingan, I think. So Tolman thought that learning develop from knowledge about the environment and how the organism relates to the environment. So Tolman's goal was to identify the complex cognitive mechanism and purpose that guided behaviors. Yes, it is important. So kanang behavior as a humans, so mo guni siya guided in our life, in our ways on how to be act. It depends, or either you adapt a good behavior or let us say a bad behavior. Yeah, so more of kwan is good behavior jud ang ato ang ma-learning, especially sa ato ang parents. So examples, he gave of this kind of behavior were a rat running a maze, a man driving home to dinner, a child hiding from a stranger, a woman gossiping over the telephone, etc. So Tolman's purposive behavior was not as widely received in its day as other psychological theories. So, para nang example ani guys, so sa gyapon niya siya ko example sa behavior like ang usa ka bata ang nitago sa stranger, of course wa man siya kaila, so nitago siya. So ana guys. Next is let's proceed to Bandura's social learning theory. So here are there is three. One is principles, two is modeling, and the last is 4 conditions for effective modeling. So what is Albert Bandura's social learning theory? Social learning theory proposed by Albert Bandura. It emphasized the importance of observing, modeling, and imitating the behaviors, attitudes, and emotional reactions of others. Social learning theory considers how both environmental and cognitive factors interact to influence human learning and behavior. So kaning ka Albert Bandura social learning guys, ga-observe. He's observing based of his research, then ga-emphasize siya sa importance sa imuha kung sa imuha makita, ga-observe. So, however, he adds 2 important ideas. So, one is mediating process occur between stimuli and responses. And 2, behavior is learned from the environment through the process of observational learning. Yes, that's true. So, sometimes ang behavior good ang behavior is maka-adapt ka og behaviors, not only your family but also your environment. So next is observational learning. Individuals that are observed are called models. So ang usa daay ka individuals nga ga-observe mo siya gitawag models. So in society, children are surrounded by many influential models, such as parents within the family, characters on children's TV, friends within their peer group, and teachers at school. So these models provide examples of behavior to observe and imitate. Example, masculine and feminine, etc. Masculine and feminine, pro and antisocial, etc. Children may pay attention to some of these people models and encode their behavior at a later time that they may imitate the behavior they have observed. Just like ang usa ka tawo guys ga-observe example sa model, I mean sa mga fashion show in like rin ang usa ka tawo is nag-observe sa usa ka giobserbahan niya na nakita sa atong environment, which is a fashion show. So Sometimes makaingon sila, ingon anaon din na siya pag fashion, ingon anaon din na siya pag ingon anaon da usa din na sa buhaton nga confidence ka nga di ka maulaw ana sa mga fashion shows, ingon ana guys. So you need to makaingon ka nga dapat dai nimo siyang kuan kanang dapat expert ka modalag heels, yun na mo din na siya mga fashion show models mga anak guys. So mga observation guys, not for that is dili lang ka na not only for that nga observation but daghan pang observation in our environment, just like the families. So maka-observe ka sa usa ka family nga wow makaingon ka wow tsada lagi kaayo sila kay peaceful ang ilahang pagpuyo, walay away, walay mga pasakit nga nadungot. Ingon ana dai tsada lagi na siya nga family. So maka-observe ka guys kung unsa ang ilahang characteristics and attitudes, which means makakuan pod siya nimo, makahatag pod siya inspiration as an observer or a role model sa imong kagalingon nga makaingon ka nga wow tsada lagi gadahan lagi ko ng mga asaw sa pamilya, ganahan lagi ko ng usa ka pamilya kay ang ilang pagpuyo is makita ko nato nga peaceful, harmonious ang ilang pagpuyo, so walay mga away, mga conflict nga nahitabo. So model ang behavior, so maka-adapt po ka guys as a model, as an observer based of your observation. So there are 4 medicinal process proposed by Bandura. So 1 is attention. Yes, the individual needs to pay attention to the behavior and its consequences and form mental representations of the behavior. For a behavior to be initiated, it has to grab our attention. We observe many behaviors on a daily basis, and many of these are not noteworthy. Attention is therefore extremely important in whether a behavior influence others limits imitating it. So, yes, so attention, it grab your attention. Mag-grab mo kag attention nga sa base sa imo nga observations as your surroundings. Next is retention. Retention is how will the behavior is remembered. The behavior may be noticed but it is not always remembered, which obviously prevents imitation. It is important, therefore, that a memory of the behavior is formed to be performed later by the observer. So much of social learning is not immediate. So this process is especially vital in those cases. Even if the behavior is reproduced shortly after seeing it, there needs to be a memory to refer to. So ang usa ka tao guys, mag-adapt po na siya ga behavior as what I said before nga sa iyang surroundings, either sa families. Yes, mag-observe po na siya sa iyang family kung sa ilang mga characteristics and personality. So it depends on you. Next is reproduction. So reproduction, this is the ability to perform the behavior that the model has just demonstrated. We see much behavior on a daily basis that we would like to be able to imitate, but that is not always possible. We are limited by our physical ability, and for that reason, even if we wish to reproduce the behavior, we cannot. So this influences our decisions of whether to try and imitate it or not. Imagine the scenario of a 90 years old lady who struggles to walk watching dancing on ice. She may appreciate that the skills is a desirable one, but she will not attempt to imitate it it because she physically cannot do it. Yes. Igon lang siya sa paglanta because um he's old na. So imbis ganahan siya nga ingon ana nga mga skills. So dili na niya mahimo. It's because kay gulang na siya. So tan-aw na lang jud. So motivation, what is motivation? The will to perform the behavior. The rewards and punishment that follow a behavior will be considered by an observer. It can perceive rewards outweigh and perceive cost. If there are any, then the behavior will be more likely to be immediate by the observer. If the vicarious reinforcement is not seen to be important enough to the observer, and then they will not immediate the behavior. So as I understand of my topic, so the behavior is okay, on how you to be a good either a good person. Yeah, because behavior is, it can adapt to you either in an environment, in our environment, or our family. So that behavior is strongly adapts in our selves. So thank you for watching.